One of the most important parts of our restoration program is the release pen. The release pen is an open-topped, fenced area. This one is about an acre in size. We plant good cover. Here we've used corn, and we mow a few strips that we'll use as feeding areas. The purpose of the release pen is to protect the young pheasants from predators while they're acclimated to life in the wild. These young birds are about 4 weeks old now. They'll be transferred into the release pen at 6 weeks. You'll see they're wearing what are called bits. These are small removable plastic pieces that we put on all the birds' beaks when they're about 2.5 weeks old. Pheasants can be cannibalistic, and these bits keep them from pecking each other. The bits will be removed in a couple of weeks when the birds are transferred to the release pen. Now the birds have been moved out to the release pen and are being fed on one of the mowed areas. I use a whistle when I feed to call the birds in. This is especially helpful in 3 to 4 weeks when the birds have left the release pen and have dispersed throughout the neighboring fields and woods. The whistle allows me to create new feeding areas and move the birds around as need be. Here I'm letting the birds learn to use a return funnel. These are one-way entrances through the fence and back into the release pen. When these birds first begin flying over the release pen fence to the neighboring fields, they'll return to feed. At that time, many fly back into the pen, but there's always some that will walk up to the fence and try to find their way in. These funnels are there to give the birds an easy way to return to the safety of the release pen. Here the birds are shown leaving the release pen after feeding. They spend their day in the surrounding area, and they begin foraging and acclimating to life in the wild. These birds are returning to the release pen in the evening to feed. Some will spend the night and roost in the pen area. Here I am opening a gate for some of the birds. Many have already flown in or used the return funnels. You've probably noticed that these birds are different ages. That's because we continue releasing birds to the release pen every few weeks through late July. Here's another clip of the birds feeding. They're getting older now, and you can see the roosters are molting into their adult plumage. Now the birds are 20 weeks old and nearing maturity. I've replaced some of the whistle and hand feeding with automated feeders. At this point, the birds are pretty much wild. We see them in the surrounding fields each day, and many return on occasion to the safety of the release pen where they can feed and roost. This method of establishing and restoring pheasant populations works well and has been proven over the years. We have good carryover. We see significant increases in broods and young birds every spring. We've also harvested some of our birds that were 2 and 3 years old.